Do you ever look around and think, wow, the world is a crazy place, and it just seems to get crazier and crazier? Ease your mind and take a break. This is Fuel for the Soul with John Giftah. We're a hub for inspirational Christian sermons, practical keys for Christian living, and Christian discussions and interviews. You'll be inspired to live the life that you were created for. Your host is a top-ranking podcaster, best-selling author, world record holder, aerospace engineer, life coach, evangelist, and founder of John Giftah International. Welcome to Fuel for the Soul with John Giftah.
As we're continuing the series on discovering our God-given gifts and talents, yesterday I spoke to you on the first aspect in terms of how you had to see what was it that you were inclined to do, or what was it that you were able to do when you were young, right? That was one of the aspects I told you about. And I said that you have to take some time out to introspect and see when you were young, what was the thing that you were naturally inclined to do? What was the thing that you did even without any external pressure or force upon you? What was the thing that you did without anybody putting a gun on your head and making you do? So that was something I asked you to, take an assignment like thing to go out and introspect and see, to analyze with regard to your gifts. Today I'm going to talk about another important aspect to see what was it that you dreamt about when you were young. Okay, what were the dreams and aspirations that you had when you were young? Now, you may say for a moment, you may say, John, we are talking about our gifts, not about the dreams, not about the aspirations. But here's the reason why I want you to look at this. Okay, why I want you to focus on what are the dreams and aspirations that were when you were young. I'm not asking you to take them raw. I'm not asking you to take them as it is, but I want you to pay attention to them because there are leads that you can get from them. Okay, for example, there was a young boy called Joseph who had dreams about his future when he was young. Okay, but the reality just dawned on him. The people around him didn't support him and they were all against him. His family was against him. And eventually, if you see, it was not just about the way he dreamt that came to pass in the end. It came to pass in the end in a totally different fashion, but his dreams did become a reality, right? But there is an important thing that we can learn here. Why am I asking you to go back to the time when you were young? Why am I asking you to go back to the time when you were a kid? Here's the reason. Because when you start out, when you are young, you're a child and you have the childlike faith. You believe things easily. You have no doubts or worries. You don't have the cares of the world. You don't know the reality of the situation. You don't know about the challenges. You don't have that many people trying to discourage you. Not many people are there to come and silence you. So when you are young, what happens is you are free to dream and you have big dreams, and there is no boundary on the kind of dreams that you have. When you're young, you are in that place where everything that you like, you have that passion for. You dream big. You say, I'm gonna, maybe you love something like sports. You're like, I'm going to dream that I will become in the an Olympic champion or something. Or when you are interested in music, maybe you dream like, I'm going to tour around the world, or maybe different things like that. When you want to be like a minister, you want to make an impact all around the world. Whatever it is, when you're young, you just believe in it. You have the dream for it. You're saying, if you notice many times when you look at little children, they don't have any thing like, maybe it won't happen. They don't have the cares of the world. They don't have this voices telling them that it will not happen and all of these things. So they are having that innocent childlike faith to believe in it, to believe in the impossible, to know that, okay, I know God can make it happen and all of these things when they are young. But what happens is, as time goes by, you are put under the filters and the various controls of the world, the systems, when you are going through the reality of your situation, when you're saying, oh my goodness, I'm not even able to perform well in my class, how am I going to make a great impact in this world? Or maybe you are in a place where the education system is just calculating how many marks you get in physics and in science or all these different subjects, whereas your strong point is something else. So you have a place where you think that, you know what, I don't think I can do anything well in this world. Or maybe you are going through life and you have discouraging voices. Maybe society wants to put you down, maybe your community or maybe your friends or your family is silencing you and asking you to settle down in mediocrity and asking you to just stop dreaming too big and just settle down and live a normal mediocre life and mundane life like everybody else. Maybe they went through certain disappointments, maybe they didn't see their dreams come to pass, so they don't want you to get hurt in believing in your dreams and making them become a reality. So for all these different reasons, what happens is, as days go by, when life happens, when you go through the things of the world, you tend to live that mediocre life just to fit in with society, just so that you can avoid those disappointments, just so that you can live the life like everybody else. And in that process, you put all these filters around you where you forget about the very things that you were born to do, the very things you were passionate about. Maybe when you were young, you thought, you know what, I'm going to make a world impact. Now you're trying to struggle through life, so you're saying, you know what, it's okay, I'll just settle for mediocrity. This is how many people are. See, as somebody who goes around ministering to people, and I've been doing this for a long period of time, right? Like with regard to the podcast, my YouTube channel, I can tell you honestly, I've been doing this for a long time. This is my 10th year of the ministry, and I know how discouraging things can be in so many areas, so many times. It's not easy. Even these daily podcasts, of course the day podcasts are doing well in so many different ways, but then it's not easy for me. Even on a day-to-day basis, there are so many times I feel like giving up. There's so many times I feel like I'm so discouraged and all of these things. But here's the thing I want you to understand. You have to remember, I've seen many people, they'll have all the passion, the fire, and they'll say, you know what, I'm going to start this, I'm going to do that, and then they start, and in no time they stop. Why? Because when you start, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. You feel discouraged. You're not getting that many compliments. You're not getting the response the way you expected, and that's why many people give up. Even I felt like giving up, I'm telling you honestly, but I kept pushing through every ounce of the tendency to give up. And that is why I'm telling you today that when you go back to that moment when you started, go back to the moment when you are young, you will have that pure childlike faith, or the childlike season when you didn't have any filters upon you, you didn't have anything thrown upon you to make you believe that you can only achieve so much, or make you believe that you can only do this much. But when you're young, you believed in anything. You thought, I'm going to conquer the world. That kind of a big faith you had. But over time, you just lost all of that. So today, my challenge to you is, go back to that moment when you were young. What were the things that you were drawn to? What were the kind of things, you had those dreams and aspirations about? And go to that. And that's why I'm telling you, take it slow. Okay, don't just listen to the podcast and think, you know what, I've done my job. No, take some time out and introspect and see, okay, how can you go back to that place where, what are the dreams and aspirations you dreamt about? What were the things you wanted to do? See, I don't want you to take it raw. Okay, I don't want you to take it raw. See, when you think about Joseph, he had that raw thing, thinking that, his brothers will just come and bow down before him. That's what he thought. But when you are young, you had that raw dreams and visions. Okay, but what happens is, now when you look at it, when you understand this is the dream, this is the aspiration that I had when I was young, then you can channelize them and filter them in line with the word of God to work on them according to what God has purposed for you. Right? Joseph thought, okay, you know what, my brothers would come and bow down before me or whatever. But that was not how it happened. The whole story was not about his brothers bowing down. The story was how God was elevating to him to a place of prominence where he can make an impact for so many lives to be saved, and in that process, as a byproduct, his dream came to pass. Okay, so today that's the challenge I want to leave with you guys. First step, check out what were the dreams and aspirations you had. Then we will see how to channelize them and take it forward step by step. Alright, there are a couple of more things to share, but I will do that in upcoming episodes in this series. See you. Bye.
You've been listening to Fuel for the Soul with John Giftah. We hope you were blessed and inspired to live the life that God has for you. Make sure to subscribe to the John Giftah YouTube channel for regular uploads of sermons, skits, interviews, and more. Follow John Giftah on Instagram for regular inspirational posts. And don't forget to check out the best-selling books written by John Giftah, Who Am I?, which will help you understand your identity, and the latest #1 bestseller, Unveil Your Purpose, helping you discover your purpose and to start walking in it. Make sure to leave a rating and review, and be sure to share it with your friends and loved ones. If you'd like to donate, you can find the PayPal link in the description. And if you'd like to invite John Giftah to speak at your event or to get more details, go to the website at www.johngiftah.com. See you on the next episode of The Fuel for the Soul with John Giftah. God bless you.
If your heart stops beating now, do you know where you're going? If you came face to face with death now, do you know where you're going? And this is not a message of condemnation. This is a message of hope. There is a God who loves you so much. He sent His only Son, Jesus Christ, to come down and pay a heavy price by shedding every drop of His blood on the cross. Thank you for dying for my sins. When you believe in Him, you have free gift of salvation for you that assures us that we will go to heaven when we die instead of suffering in hell forever. I just encourage you today to make the simple step of faith and say, Jesus, I thank you for what you did on the cross. Thank you for giving me this gift of eternal life.